Okay, welcome back to Toolbox Talks, and today we are doing the first part of a three-part series with Matt from Cube Consulting. Matt from Cube Consulting is formerly a tradesman, and he now has a company that helps tradespeople grow their business. In this series, we're going to be talking about business mindset, pricing for profit, and brand planning, which are all paramount areas of a business. The first one we're going to talk about today is business mindset, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a ripper.
Giving tradies and contractors around the globe the tools to run a modern business. You're listening to Toolbox Talks from the Site Shed. Now here's your host, Matt Jones.
Welcome to Toolbox Talks. Thanks for joining us once again.
Cheers, Matt. Thanks for having me.
So today we're going to be talking about, the first part of our series, which is business mindset. I suppose before we dive into that, I'd like to ask you, why have we decided to choose these three topics for this upcoming series?
Well, the key thing with any business, starting with the business mindset. So with the business owner, it's all about working smart. And we see it time and time again where a lot of business owners work really, really hard, putting a lot of time in, investing a lot of money, and ultimately, failing to get the return. And basically because they're in a mindset of what we call tradie mindset. And that tradie mindset is all about working hard, getting things done, making sure they've got work happening. And the ultimate mindset, or the ultimate outcome, is that they're very busy all the time, but ultimately they're not really moving, financially forward. So the business mindset is always what we're about in that business mindset. It's always making sure that, one, we get a return on our dollar. And a lot of people, a lot of business owners are investing, let's say for every dollar they invest, they're only getting a return of 50 cents based on the hours that they're putting in. And we've done a number of calculations and case studies on organisations where some business owners are only making about $15 an hour. So the business mindset, it's all about making sure that as a business owner, we're going in with our eyes wide open. We understand exactly what the business needs to deliver me as a business owner financially from a personal point of view, to make sure that, I've got achieving my lifestyle, whether it be having holidays, whether it be having a nice house, nice car. And to get that from a personal point of view, then we need to make sure that the business will deliver that.
And pricing for profit?
Pricing for profit, pretty simple. We don't price to win a job, we price for profit. And ultimately, we want to make sure that every job we do is we are making profit. And what we often see with a lot of business owners, it's a bit like a boom and bust. Some jobs they make a lot of money on and other jobs they lose on. Unfortunately, they're not really sure which jobs they're winning on, which jobs they're losing on. And it's a guesstimate. And in this competitive landscape, 100%, the successful businesses that are doing really well and creating wealth for the business owner is that they price for profit. And that then rolls into the brand planning. Because very clearly, once you know exactly what you're pricing at, then you build your brand around that, because you're very clearly identifying the type of client you want. You're very clearly identifying how you need to educate the client in terms of where they see the value, and making sure that you actually take pricing off the table totally. So pricing is not an issue. With that brand planning, you're communicating with that client that you're identifying that you understand their problem better than anyone else, and you've got the best solutions to deliver that.
Okay, well, it looks like we're in for a bit of a ride here, so I'm looking forward to getting into this and learning a bit more myself, as I'm sure the listeners are. So let's just dive straight into business mindset. What is business mindset? I mean, I've had an experience lately where, I've got so many things that are going on in my business, which is so good, and I have two bad things that are going on. And what do you think I'm thinking about all the time?
So you always just focus on that negative, don't you?
Why is that? Is that business mindset, or is this completely unrelated to what we're talking about?
No, it is about the mindset, because you're not in that right mindset. Because when you're in the business mindset, you're always looking long term. And when you think of it from a business owner or a competitive sporting perspective, is that if you're relating it to, say, Olympic Games, when you're at Olympic Games and you're looking at, or your goal is to go to the Olympic Games, you're looking at how you want to perform in 8 months' time in Rio in August. You're very clearly, your mindset is there. So that's where you need to perform. And that's where you need the result to be. When you're in that mindset, you know that there's always little things you need to improve on, and you take anything away that you need to learn on in terms of my daily performance. Because if I improve my daily performance, I know that the result will come when it's important. Relating that back to where we are now, a lot of people, because they're not really sure from a business owner perspective, they're not really sure what they want to achieve next week, let alone next year. So all they do is focus on the results of what they're seeing in front of them today.
So is it kind of like planning, like it's like business, is it business planning or is it more like mindset planning or is it sort of visualization or?
You've got to be it's a combination of all, but you've got to be in the right mindset to take on planning. Like a lot of people, if you're not open to planning and not open to the mindset of, sort of working towards a plan, then you'll never put a plan in place. So what you need to do, you need to have the mindset of, okay, my mindset is a business owner. I'm a business owner. I am not a tradie. Okay. As a business owner, I'm not all about just, winning work. As a business owner, because that's the tradie mindset. The tradie mindset is I just need to get a lot of jobs in and I just need to put a lot of guys on there and get the job done, then move on to the next job. Forget about reviewing and retrospectively looking at how you've achieved. It's all about just moving on to the next one. As a business owner, I'm looking at why is this job important today in terms of, one, profit? Is this going to help me achieve my turnover and profit goals for the year? And two, is this going to build my brand long term? So in other words, are we working with the right type of client that actually appreciates what we're doing? Because unfortunately, a lot of people, a lot of business owners, they always fail to make that mistake. They don't understand why the clients never give a toss about all the value that I'm delivering. Well, very clearly, you're talking to the wrong client who does not value quality. They might only be valuing price or convenience. So when you're in that mindset, you take away the frustration of, again, having certain things that aren't working, because when you're in the business mindset and the long-term mindset, you take on the things that aren't where you go, okay, cool, that failed. What do I need to do as a business owner to take responsibility? Re-systems, re-processes, re-strategy. Whereas when you're in the tradie mindset, this is the classic tradie mindset is, my frigging plumbers, they got no idea. I can't employ anyone. I wish I could employ someone that was just like me.
Yeah.
That's a tradie mindset. Whereas a business mindset goes, okay, why are we currently and always getting the same problems with our staff? What systems do I need to implement as a business owner to make sure that we eliminate that mistake? People don't need to rely on me and call me every 5 seconds. And more importantly, that once I've got that rectified, I will not have to answer that question again for the next 10 years.
Gotcha.
Because I'm in for this next 5, 10, 15 years, baby. And I don't want to repeat myself again.
So, yeah, it's about, I suppose, like taking responsibility on board in the space of, okay, what's actually happening here? How can I not so much react to what's happening, but respond to it, build systems around it so it doesn't happen again?
Correct. Exactly right. Okay. And it's just not repeating the same mistake over and over again.
So what are some of the more common pain points that you typically see day to day, in businesses or in individuals that may have poor mindset? Are there sort of red flags for you that sort of pop up?
Yeah, well, the classic one is where the business owner will be everyone else's fault.
Right.
Their predicament, it's their customer's problem why they're always, not getting the right money, or they're always competing on price, or their suppliers are trying to rip them off, or the government's trying to rip them off, or the taxman's having a go at them. So that's the sort of trading mindset where a lot of the times they feel that their own circumstances and their own future is in someone else's hands. Just
to sort of segue slightly, there's a fellow, I suppose he's a mate, like I have coffee with him down at the cafe in the morning sometimes, and every time I speak to him, he runs his own business, but every time I talk to him, he's talking about how the economy and the Dow Jones are preventing him from growing his business. And it's just ridiculous. He's down there reading the paper every day, and every day I pretty much say to him, what's stopping you from growing the business today, mate? And he'll say something or other, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, and it's so common where people are dictated by some of the propaganda that's put out there on social media and out there in the standard news press. Whereas as a business mindset, it's irrelevant. The only thing that I can control is how I perform today. Okay, if I do everything right today, and I do it right tomorrow, and I do it right tomorrow, and the next day, then I'm pretty close to guaranteeing that I will achieve the result that I want to achieve for the year. And this is the key things that we implement with all our clients, and this is hence why we're getting great results. Whereas, just that simple mindset, working on the day-to-day, keeping it really simple, but taking ownership of everything and chipping away at it, and then, seeing the results at the end of the day. So it's not about, we don't try and go in there and go, okay, I'm going to make a lot of money today. It's all about, what do I need to do today? What's important today? And whereas when you're in the trading mindset and that go, you're on that hamster wheel, it's just about whatever's in front of you, that's all you take on. I've got to get that done. Okay, that phone call, got to answer that phone call. Whereas business mindset, okay, step back. What's important? What can I delegate? And there's a key thing about what we do is we try and, you automate, you delegate, or you dump. And when you're in the business mindset, very clearly you know that you've got to automate things so things don't rely on you, and also you can put a system around it. Because once you've got a system around it, you know you can effectively delegate to someone. And they've got a structure, and that they've got key things that they need to tick off every day because of that good automation. And then very clearly you dump it. What are the things that as a business you don't need or you need to get rid of? Is it a system? Is it a client? Is it whatever it is that's not part of your core? And you can only do that when you're in the business mindset.
So it's obviously quite a foreign, I suppose, perspective on how to approach a business, especially from a trade point of view. Do you get a lot of resistance, or, is it a hard segue for business owners to move towards when, they're so used to operating in a certain way, then you come along and say, well, no, this is how you should be operating?
No, look, the clients that come on board with us, and look, this is where, and this is really part of the business mindset is key, is that I've got a very clear belief. And so with my belief, based on my experience and based on results, and I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but I'm very clear on my belief. And my belief is that you've got to have the mindset. So when I'm talking to people, I'm just talking to people who believe what I believe. So, and those people then, they'll be the ones that I'll be working with and we'll be partnering up with. So those people that are sort of engaged our services, they're open-minded and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
And there are some people that always go, and that's cool. Some people always go, oh, that's all bullshit. What's Jonesy talking about? And that's no dramas at all. But when people engage in our services and they want to work with us, because first and foremost, I want to get results. I'm competitive and I want to make change in a business. So, we sack certain clients that are not willing to change because we can't do anything with them. And it's like with some athletes and that we work with as well. If they're not ready to come on board with the program, and that starts with the mindset, then they will not get the results that we want to achieve for them.
Yeah, right. So it's really like a fundamental part of progress.
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't got that mindset, you're not going to appreciate what we're talking about when pricing for profit. You're not going to appreciate when we talk about my brand plan and how to constantly communicate your brand values and the culture and how you educate clients. So too many people, this is where I see time and time again now in the tradie space, and you'll see it all the time, Matt, and this is hence why there's an issue a lot of time. I'm a tradie. And I hear I need a website. So you go get a website. I hear I need SEO. I hear I need a job management system. I hear I need an accounting system. I hear I need a coach. So they get all these things, what we classify as a what. So they're all tangible things they get. But they're still in the trading mindset. They don't understand in that business mindset how they've all got to integrate in that ecosystem and work together, and why I need to do this, as opposed to, oh, shit, Bob down the road's got it, so I've got to get it.
Yeah.
So they never actually leverage the power of what they've got. They're always looking for something new. They never fully get into a program to fully understand. They go, oh, this is not working. What's next?
Yeah, I can relate to that totally. There's so many people that come to us after, to get something, maybe like a website build or whatever. But my question to them is, why do you want this done? Like, what's the end goal here? You're just getting this because it's a buzzword, and it's like part of our role, I suppose, is trying to communicate, what that platform or what that website can actually deliver from a marketing point of view or from a branding point of view. That's really what's important. It's not so much about, I have a website. It's about, well,
no, that's right. Okay,
well, what does this get? What will this product do to affect my business?
You think of it, you go to a shop to buy a half-inch drill bit. You don't want their half-inch drill bit. You want a half-inch hole.
Exactly.
And it's all about, we see, some business owners they've wasted tens of thousands of dollars on websites or on systems and certain things that are irrelevant for their type of business because they weren't in the business mindset. They didn't know where they needed to be in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years' time. Because if you don't know the end goal, you don't know what to do. And again, coming back to the Olympic analogy, if you're not sure what event you want to, what you want to go to the Olympics and compete at, then every day you're going to do a bit of swimming, a bit of running, a bit of bike riding, a bit of kayaking, a bit of weightlifting. There's no focus, no understanding of, no, I'm going to be a runner, so I want a running coach, I want a running gym program, I want to get the best spikes. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about that. So, and again, this is because it's day to day. In that trading mindset, you're just going day to day with no real plan in place.
Yep. You know what? I relate to that a lot. This year specifically, we've actually set a real an annual, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily goal strategy, like plan and step strategy, and to make it real, I've actually started doing it with an accountability partner. So partner. So my mate Scott and I are actually working through this every Friday. We sit down at 10 o'clock and we go through the goals for the following week, and those goals, how they attribute to the monthly goals, which attribute to the quarterly goals, which they attribute to the annual goals. And it's just about, I suppose, like you say, having clarity about where you want to be and then breaking that down into steps on how you can actually get there.
Correct, exactly right. And just bite-sized chunks every day, because if you sit back and go, I want to achieve $1 million, that can sound quite daunting over a year. But when you break it down again to a month, a week, a day, an hour, it's like, okay, that's achievable.
Yeah.
And they're the things you got to focus on. So
yeah,
I need $1,000 of work a day, this type of work, these amount of guys, so it makes it very bite-sized chunks for the owner. Again, and that comes into the right mindset. And that becomes into that mindset of, you know what, my priority as a business owner is to create wealth and generate, a sustainable business for everyone involved. And more importantly, as a business owner, is to get that return on investment that I've put in, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, the amount of hours you've put in, the amount of jobs that you've taken on board that you've lost money on, but I just want to get the foot in the door, I just want to get the name out there, that's cool. All the investment you've put in there with all systems, tools, trucks, team, recruitment, ultimately, if you really worked it out, over a course of a 4 or 5 year period, you're still blank, you still haven't got an actual return on your investment. And the way I put it, like, you got to look at your business as an investment like you would, whether it be a share portfolio, whether it be property investments. What's the return you want on this? If I'm going to invest $1, I want $1.50 back, unless, unfortunately, a lot of people are only getting 50 cents back because they're just thinking about, look, I just want to get into the business. Do not start a business if you just want, all you're thinking about is just drawing a wage. You're better off just keep working for an employer, get your guaranteed 40 hours a week, get your 4 weeks annual leave, and your money's in the bank every week.
Yeah, without the stress.
Without the stress. Too competitive. It's way too competitive. There's so many people entering the market, competitors. Clients expect a lot now, just with social media, with all the TV shows about do it yourself, all these sort of things. There's high expectation. There's obviously a lot of compliance on board now from government, work health, safety, fair work ombudsman when you're employing. But there's a lot of compliance that people don't, they underestimate what they're taking on board as a business owner. This is why I'm so passionate. This is why most businesses, around 80% of businesses, shut down, fail, go broke within the first 5 years.
Yeah. So if we're going to, maybe just before we're coming close to wrapping up this episode in this series, however, if you could maybe give us a bit of a before and after as opposed to what a business might look like before they come to you for mindset coaching, and then what they would look like after mindset coaching.
Yep. So a typical before client, before they work with us, is that, let's say it's a husband and wife team, they're probably at each other's head or at each other's throats all the time. They can't talk business. They don't know. They haven't got an annual plan, that's for sure. They don't know what they want to achieve this year. They actually don't know what they need to survive from a personal financial point of view, so they actually don't know what they need just from a personal point of view in terms of what the business needs to deliver them just to survive. They have got no understanding of what they should be charging out to cover all their costs and to make profit. They've got no understanding from a financial or telling your story point of view, so they've got no financial reporting. They've got no understanding of what their brand stands for. And ultimately, all that wrapped up into one means as business owners, they're lacking confidence in what the business stands for and what their brand stands for. So as business owners, because they haven't got all the key fundamentals, they're lacking confidence. So they're lacking confidence in who to hire, who to work for. When they go through our systems and process in a very, a relatively short time, like especially after, say, 3, 4, 5 months, the business owners and the relationship between, say, the husband and wife team, they're on the same page now because they're looking at a goal. They're on the same page now because they're actually getting information based on jobs, financials, balance sheet, cash flow on a weekly, daily basis, so they're on the same page, so they can talk. They're actually looking at the same thing. What we often see is, the wife might be speaking Chinese and the husband speaking Arabic, and that's why they're on each other's heads. So what we're trying to do is get them to be speaking the same language and interpreting the right data.
Yeah. And then I suppose that's an important thing, isn't it? Like you're communicating about actual data as opposed to potential or non-factual.
That's right. It's not like gut feel. It's not like, it's amazing how many people say, I know where my most profitable work is. I say, okay, is it A or B? And they go, it's B. And then when I actually do the analysis and I drill into it, B is the one that's actually taking the most amount of time, but it's delivering the least amount of profit. So, and that's why, hence, we're so passionate about the numbers, because you need actual data to build a case study and a proper strategy going forward.
Yep.
And then then you get both partners to be on, buy into that. And then because, again, you are measuring it, and then what you see, it's amazing. Once people get excited about their business, about what can be, then, that mindset is really changing. And then they're really confident then about this is what our brand stands for. You know what? I need to take my price up $20 because I'm investing in the good machinery. I'm investing in good team. I'm investing in all these systems to actually deliver a far better and far quality solution than anyone else.
Yep. Awesome. So is there anything there you think we've missed, or have we covered most of it?
No, look, the key takeaway, I suppose, for people is that think of their business like an investment. And if you're investing a dollar of your time, an hour of your time, what do you want in return? So don't think about it from just getting jobs done. It's all about what are the right jobs that are important for you and the right clients, and then build that brand around that. So in other words, okay, where I am today and where do I need to go? What decisions do I need to make today to ensure that I'm going to achieve that 1 year goal and that 2 year goal?
So I think my takeaways from that were take responsibility primarily. At the end of the day, it's your business, so just own it.
Yep.
Develop a business mindset over a tradie mindset. Don't start a business just for a wage, and no plan to always plan ahead. So make sure that you've got goals and strategies in place that can help you, so you can measure it, and then understand, of course, how to price correctly. I think this is something that we see so often that people just don't do right.
Yeah.
And then analyze the data. Don't guess. Just have a look at what's happening in the business from a statistical point of view, and set your goals and strategies around improving that.
Yeah, 100%. The key thing there is that true and correct data to make decisions. No guesstimate.
Yep. All right, great. Well, look, I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. We're slightly over time, but that's good. So, Matt, thanks for that. That was awesome. I learned a lot, definitely. And in the next episode, we're going to discuss pricing for profit. So for all your listeners out there, make sure you tune in for that one. That is going to be equally as good as the one you've just heard. So thanks again, Matt, and we will speak to you in the next episode.
Cheers. Thanks, Matt.
So if you haven't already, head across to thesiteshed.com and register for our Toolbox Talks, where you'll be regularly sent great episodes just like this straight to your inbox, so you'll never miss one. If you want to join the community, you can head across to thesiteshed.com/members, where for a small monthly fee, you'll get access to regularly updated training material, as well as access to our forum, where you can mingle and collaborate with trade-based business owners just like you from all over the world. If you're enjoying this podcast, please head across to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. We greatly appreciate it, and it helps us spread the word and reach the masses. Likewise, if you know anyone that might benefit from the content we create, then please go ahead and share this with them.
You've been listening to Toolbox Talks by The Site Shed. For more great content just like this, head across to thesiteshed.com and join the amazing community of savvy trade-based business owners.